people are missing out that are riding off El Salvador. You gotta come visit. You really gotta come visit this place. This is not what you hear on the news. I'm telling you, you don't see this.
DJ Bambino, salvadoreño del corazón.
I just made it to the Centro area. I got my first Pupusas. I have not been couch surfing at all since the pandemic, and so I'm excited to get back into meeting up with, the locals and getting to know the culture. And, we'll see what San Salvador and eventually Santa Ana and El Zonte and other parts of this country that I'm just beginning to get to know has to offer. I'm about to try and find my first couch surfing host, so should be interesting to meet. I've got a bunch of different people lined up that I met on couch surfing. Don't know any of them, but we'll see how they are. First guy's name is Hector. Beautiful evening, just walking the city, waiting for Hector to come pick me up. Not a bad place. Aquí estamos con el plato típico. ¿Qué es el nombre?
Pan con gallina.
Ok. ¿Y Héctor?
Carne de res.
Perfecto. Claro que sí, tenemos horchata, sí. Good morning from San Salvador. I did not have to worry about the crazy humidity and heat making me not fall asleep because I knocked right out. You know how it is. Super Nino zombie pillow came in clutch with the luxurious comfort, and just about to start the day here in San Salvador. Let's get it. But first, let me just show you this. I just showed you Super Nino zombie, pero también tenemos Andale es lo que hay, the dynamic duo of pillows. I did only pack one pair of pants because I was thinking, I'm just going to bring like 3 pairs of shorts, 1 pair of pants, because I'm going to wear shorts because it's super hot out. It's like 90 degrees every day. But what I forgot, and this is just a foolish mistake because I knew this, is that obviously everyone else is going to be wearing pants, and I don't want to look too gringo and just be wearing shorts like a tourist. So I'm really going to be rocking with these pants probably the entire time I'm here. 8 days in a row. We'll see what happens, but maybe I can buy some more on the street. But these are my pants for the week. Just went to a really cool anthropological museum of the history of El Salvador, the indigenous culture, and a little bit of the political situation, the Civil War. Learned quite a bit. Tour was in Spanish, felt accomplished. I could understand pretty much all of it. And now I'm just walking. I'm very close right now to the La Casa Presidencial, where is basically the White House of El Salvador, where the president lived. But apparently he moved out because he built this hospital. They built this hospital last year to deal with the COVID cases. I'm gonna go try and find some food and then ultimately meet up with 2 other couch surfing friends. And then we're gonna hike a mountain. Or a crater, a volcanic crater. We're gonna hike a volcanic crater, apparently. ¿Dónde estamos?
En el volcán de San
Volcán de San Salvador. Y abajo está el lago.
Wow. So whenever I go to a country that's considered dangerous, of course, people are telling me that and warning me of the risks. But the ironic part is that so far, luckily, every time something bad has happened to me, it has been 100% my fault. So this is called forgetting to duck when there is a barbed wire fence. And then another thing that was almost a close call was underestimating the length of this hike and having a storm come in. Obviously didn't get footage of the rain, but made it out fine, just a little wet.
Pero sobreviví y estoy bien, así que no pasa nada.
No pasa nada, pero teníamos
Qué día.
preocupaciones, ¿no?
Sí.
Sí. Son de hierro, no te pasó nada. Increíble.
Wow, that was a day. I am mentally and physically exhausted. I'm about to knock out once again for another long night of sleep. Sunday morning breakfast at this little market.
A un hospital, muchos buscan la respuesta en el hombre, en el médico, pero déjeme decirte, de predicar la palabra.
It's Sunday morning, and there are so many church services going on. Everybody's got their own little group. If you can see behind me, we got some people right here. There's these little Christian denominations that are just shouting on every single corner. It's very interesting. There was a guy that pulled up to the service with a clown costume on, and then there's this other guy that I believe was very, very inebriated, and he was doing push-ups and doing power poses. It was quite interesting. I watched for honestly like 30 minutes. So after that, made my way to another couch surfer's house named Byron. Had a pretty fire lunch there, and then we went up to a town called Suchitoto to explore. Llegamos a Suchitoto y esta es una cascada famosa aquí. ¿Y Byron?
Hola.
Beautiful night in Suchitoto. Buenos dias. Just gonna walk around a little bit, and then I'm gonna head off back to San Salvador en route to my next couch surfing host, Saul, who lives in a town that I cannot yet pronounce, but I will learn it by the time I get there. So I've been in El Salvador for 3 days now, and every meal has either been this, where you have like a bunch of different ingredients that are all good on the same plate, and you can kind of mix them together, or pupusas. Those are the only two options that I've found so far, and I love it. So there's this company, this geothermal company in El Salvador that's gonna mine Bitcoin with geothermal energy, and I heard about this on Twitter, and I was just curious about it, so for some reason I decided to come here. And I explained to them that I work for an environmental organization that has connections with investors who want to talk about this, and all of a sudden I am in with a visitor pass. And I got the email of the assistant president.
Esas hembras con su caminar me hacen delirar. Son rosa de un jardín de amor. El tiempo entró. ¿Dónde están las mujeres? ¿Dónde están las mujeres? ¿Dónde están las mujeres?
Hopped on a bus, hopped on another bus, hopped on another bus. Finally got here, and then I realized that I'm not even at the place where I'm supposed to be to hike this volcano tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to hop on another bus to get there. And I'm gonna have to wake up at 5 a.m. And it's right now, I'm to get on the bus at 5 a.m. It's right now 12:35. So gonna be another night of low sleep, unfortunately. Not even 5 a.m. and I'm already running for this dang bus. This might be a really stupid decision, honestly, to be going all this way for this volcano. And it might rain and not have any view or even be able to go up. But whatever. I'm out here trying to make something happen. I'm in Santa Ana. It's like 6:30 a.m. For some reason, the sun's been up for over an hour already. I don't know why. Going to the next bus. Try to get through this volcano, but we'll see what happens because I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of things could go wrong. Okay, these pupusas are making me feel better about getting up so early. I got this, and then I already got my ticket for the 7:40 a.m. bus to the national park that I'm going to be going to. So, feeling a little bit more confident about the day.
It's hard in Spanish. Like,
It's el mismo. Turns out hiking the tallest volcano in El Salvador was definitely worth it. And just like that, we made it to the top. I was actually expecting not anything impressive because of the fog, but check this out. Pretty cool. Okay, so next stop is Lake Cotepeque. Transportation's a little bit complicated around here, but we found a tuk-tuk. Made it to Lago Cotepeque. About to eat in this nice little restaurant and enjoy this beautiful view that we have of the largest lake in El Salvador, I believe. How's it look, boys?
yeah, it's big, huge.
Okay, I just found out that the last bus to Santa Ana, where I need to be, well, the next stop that I need to go before the final stop, leaves in 15 minutes and haven't gotten the chance to swim yet, so about to jump in real quick and let's get it. Got a quick little swim in, and now it's bus back to Santa Ana and then a bus back to Waiua. It's been a trip full of buses, but somehow today worked out, at least so far. So also thought I missed that bus, but waited around for a little while and it all worked out. So I made my way back to Waiua, enjoyed a great night with Saul, my couch surfing host. Another successful meal. Dos pupusas, uno de camarón, uno de ajo y dos
panes rellenos.
Panes rellenos.
Panes
Rellenos. Y aquí es Saúl.
Son grandes, panes rellenos de ese tamaño. No son pequeños.
Me comí dos.
Dos de esos y dos pupusas grandes también.
The next morning, I went to go try and find some hot springs that I saw on a map, and that inevitably had some bus issues, which once resolved was followed by a donation-based bus sermon.
Por haberte enviado, Jesús, para darme vida eterna. Oh, Dios de gloria, muchas gracias por esta salvación. Amén.
There's so many buses that you have to take. I've spent so much time in buses. Obviously, they don't go all the time, and so you have to work backwards and figure out, okay, if I need to be in this place by this time, I have to take, whatever, 3 or 4 buses. And once you work backwards, it's like, okay, it's time to go. I have to go right now. Anyways, I took this bus this morning, and I finally arrived, taking 3 different forms of transportation at these thermal pools, which are kind of cool. But it's like, now I have to go. Completely different than I expected, and also in a different location than I expected. And I've got like 15 minutes to enjoy them, but it's all right. Ooh, these things are very hot. Very, very hot. Well, very quick stay there. Feel very relaxed now. It was a good 15 minutes. Now, as you can hear, we've got some storms coming in, and I'm gonna have to probably hitchhike just a short ways to get back to the main road so I can take a bus. No cars in sight, so I'm about to, I am, have to do a little power walk. But what a beautiful day for a power walk in El Salvador. So I got back to Waiua, said goodbye to Saul and his family, and then took a connecting bus to the last bus of the day, which was going to El Zante. I missed the bus by 1 minute. There's one bus that goes at 3:30 p.m. I arrived at 3:31 p.m. and for some reason it was on time. I had to take three other buses. This is going to be my third one. I'm waiting on the side of the road for the final bus, and then finally I will be in Zante after a full day of bus taking again. Finally made it. Last bus of the day. Picked up my 15 bananas for $1 and got into El Zante just before sunset. So when I missed the bus in Sonsonate, I walked up to someone and asked them, I ran up to someone and asked them if the bus to La Libertad had left already. And they're like, no, it just left like literally 1 minute ago. I don't know, I must have looked so beat. I was wearing this mask and it is beat. I don't even know why I was still wearing this thing. And the lady must have felt so sorry for me that she was like, do you want a new mask? And she had an extra mask and gave me a fresh mask. Look at this thing. Of all the beaches in El Salvador, one of the main reasons why I wanted to go to El Zante is they call it Bitcoin Beach. They actually adopted Bitcoin 2 years ago as a town, and they were one of the main inspirations for the government to actually adopt Bitcoin as a national currency this year. I don't want to get too into this in the vlog because I feel like it's more of a topic for the blog, but I did have some really awesome conversations with locals about how they see Bitcoin.
La mayoría viene y paga con Bitcoin.
La mayoría?
Sí.
¿En serio?
Muchas personas.
Más que 50%.
Más.
¿En serio?
Sí. Ahorita aquí en el lugar,
Sí.
todos usan Bitcoin.
¿Y qué piensa de Bitcoin?
Pues yo en mi punto de vista, para mí ha sido bueno.
Sí.
Porque lo he utilizado bastante para mi negocio y yo he ganado.
¿Y ha subido mucho?
Ha subido mucho.
¿Cuándo empezó a aceptarlo?
Nosotros acá, 2 años.
2 años, entonces ha subido bastante, sí.
Sí.
Wow. ¿Y acepta tarjeta de crédito o no? Solo Bitcoin.
Efectivo y Bitcoin.
Interesante, interesante. Pues voy a intentar de pagar con Bitcoin entonces, sí. So I actually ran out of cash and there was no normal ATM in this town. And so I ended up having to be pretty reliant on Bitcoin. There was some technical issues that I'll get into in the blog. But anyways, that's enough of that. Now it's time for the next day. So the waves in El Zonte today were absolutely crazy. And there was no way that we're gonna surf. But I met this couple, and they took me to this private beach, which is all locals here. But it's like this lifetime membership private beach resort. And this place is absolutely beautiful. We just went boogie boarding on the tiny waves. And honestly, I'm perfectly fine with just boogie boarding. I don't think surfing is for me, just looking at some of these waves. Yeah, so look at this. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beach. And then I had to get some sort of sport in, so joined this game of beach soccer with the kids at sunset. And, ooh, that was kind of smooth. Let's run that back, actually. He went in for the full slide tackle, came up empty-handed. Look at that sunset. Incredible. Last full day from El Salvador. I woke up this morning in El Zante again. Here's my little room with I think that's sort of a window. I don't really know what you would call that. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm about to do today. I got pretty beat up by the waves and the sun yesterday, so I'm not even sure if I want to mess around with that again. But might just try and chill out a little bit. We'll see. Definitely want to explore this Bitcoin thing a little bit more here. I actually don't have any money, So I'm gonna have to try and use this Bitcoin ATM that they have. Apparently they don't have a normal ATM. It's only a Bitcoin ATM. So I'm gonna have to sell some of my Bitcoin and pay for the rest of this trip with that. So that finally worked, but not after a very long delay and some technical problems. I got my food, I can pay for food, I can pay for water, and just enjoying the beach. And I pretty much forgot to take pictures or videos for the rest of the day, but here's some cows. I had a great night last night, final night in El Salvador, did some yoga, and then met up with some people here and just talked for a long time in the hostel about some of the details about the experiment here with Bitcoin and got a ton of good information. Now I am just waiting for a bus to go meet up with some friends for breakfast, and then it's time for the airport. Airport's a little ways away, so I'm gonna have to take some buses. Might just take a taxi, play it safe. I made it back to the airport. It was uneventful. Made it in time. I took a normal, boring taxi for the first time. Now I'm just in the Mexico City airport, checking out the view. Not too bad. I'm gonna take a flight back to Oaxaca. So yeah, overall, very stellar time in El Salvador. Would recommend it to anyone that wants to go for the Bitcoin, for the nature, for the city. So until next time, Mike G Productions is out. Peace. Home sweet home, Ciudad de Oaxaca.
¿Dónde están las mujeres solteras? Salvadoreñas. ¿Dónde están las mujeres solteras? Salvadoreñas. El hit. Ella lo baila agachadita, agachadita. Lo goza agachadita, agachadita, agachadita. Menea agachadita, parece dinamita. Agachadita, agachadita.